And we are live. Bam, right there. Welcome in. How are you, everybody? Welcome to a new live stream. I Crypto. I'm your host, Rocco. And today is going to be a day where I'm going to take some time and kind of take something kind of out of my system because that's so many things going on. And this is why the thumbnail say urgent. And beside the news, the good news and the bad news, whatever you want to see the market, but there is some things that we need to call out some people today. That's I feel it because that's there is a limit to everything. So welcome in. We're gonna talk some news today. We're gonna introduce our super friend Finch. Finch, welcome to the live stream. And also again, we're gonna take something off the system, okay? So all the drama about the Treasury.
Hey, thanks, Rocco. Super excited to be live with everyone.
Yes.
All right, folks, let's dive right in. Tonight, we're tackling some really intriguing topics, from the XRP Supply Shock to the latest Bitcoin reserve twists and all the juicy rumors in between. It's going to be a fun ride, so definitely stick around. And of course, if you're enjoying the vibe, hit that like button, subscribe, and check out In Out Crypto for some cool merch. Let's get started.
Yeah, let's get started. So let's go straight to the point, I will say. Let's go ahead and show this video right here, okay? So, and then we're going to talk all around of this, okay? Let's start with this, okay? This is the Treasury in charge right now. There is a Scott Bessent, and let's take a listen.
We've also started to get into the 21st century, a Bitcoin strategic reserve. We're not going to be buying that, but we are going to...
You guys heard that, right? We're not going to be buying that. All right. Okay, let's put it back.
We're not going to be buying that, but we are going to use confiscated assets.
So it's very clear. It's not like, I heard voices in my head or is the speech say they're not going to buy more Bitcoin. So all the talk about the buying the reserve, I don't know where they go, out of the window. The whole campaign was to create a strategic Bitcoin. The whole campaign was to create a stockpile of a reserve of crypto. This was in the whole campaign. And what is this? It's just we go back, we start to lie, we're going to change the stance. And then you know what? Some people start to say, oh, why you do this kind of FUD? You spread FUD with this stuff. No, that's not FUD. This article right here, this guy is talking. That's pretty straightforward. This CNBC or Fox Business, one or the other. It's not like somebody says a word. So again, let's take a listen and then we're going to talk. You can tell already I'm going to be today, a little my fuse has been started. Okay, so let's go.
We are going to use confiscated assets and continue to build that up. We're going to stop selling that. I believe that Bitcoin reserve at today's prices is somewhere between 15 and 20 billion.
So he's talking about the reserve that is already existing. So Scott Bessent is talking about the reserve they have. They say that whatever is confiscated, they're going to try not to sell it, even though we don't know what they sell it, because they come out with something that say they sold a portion and nobody knows what happened to the rest of the Bitcoin. But he explicitly say we cannot going to buy more Bitcoin. And that's, so Finch, what do you make out of this news today? It's kind of crazy. And this kind of lead me up a little bit, and this is why I want you guys to be very careful with all these things happening, right? Because these people are promising
it's definitely
stuff.
A wild twist, Rocco. I mean, you've got Scott Bessent basically saying, hey, we're not adding more Bitcoin to the reserve, which sounds like a complete pivot from what we've been hearing about making the U.S. a crypto company. It's almost like they're playing a game of smoke and mirrors. One minute it's we're all in on Bitcoin, and the next it's actually we're just going to hold what we got and not buy more. It definitely makes you wonder what's really going on behind the scenes and why the narrative keeps flipping. And for our audience, this is exactly the kind of stuff we love diving into, because when official statements zigzag like this, it opens up a whole world of speculation and, maybe a bit of conspiracy talk. So it's going to be fun unpacking that today.
But also they're coming out with something like this today when the market is red. That's another thing. So the market, it comes out red today, and because of the number of the PPI. In fact, if you go see I'm showing you right now the chart change. So the price now of Bitcoin is 118,300, and the PPI was expected to be forecasted 0.2, and the actual release was at 0.9. way above the expectation, which means inflation is very high, and then you put gasoline to the fire. That's another thing. So, Finch, you want to kind of address this situation as well while I'm making my case here? So, you come out with a news like this while the number are red, everything yesterday
Absolutely.
were all
Let's dig into
high.
that because it's a big piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
So, folks, what Rocco's showing here is that the producer price index, the PPI, just came in way hotter than expected. It's basically high in that inflation pressures are still running high. And when inflation surprises like this, it often spooks the market. So Bitcoin took a hit, and that's part of why we're seeing that drop from that all-time high and some of that volatility right now. But here's the kicker for everyone watching live. This kind of macro data is exactly what can shake up the crypto markets, and it's why we keep a close eye on these reports. We're going to break it all down today, how inflation, regulatory shifts, and these big institutional moves all connect to what's happening with Bitcoin, XRP, and the wider crypto landscape. So stick around, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't yet, and let's dive in.
I mean, this is great if you're a trader, but that's not my point. It's not about the market has been going up and down. It's always been doing that, and I'm okay with that. I have no problem at all. What I have a problem with is to have these people in charge manipulating the news depending on what what they need. Okay, I'm not done there because we go back to the article right here, and let me put it back this way. I like it better. And then few hours later, we have the flip-flop right there. Look at this. Okay, then few hours later, we have then a post on X that says, from Scott Bessent again, say Bitcoin that has been finally forfeit to the federal government will be the foundation of the strategic Bitcoin reserve that President Trump established in this March executive order. In addition, Treasury is committed to exploring budget-neutral paid pathway to acquire more Bitcoin to extend the reserve and to execute on the president's promise to make the United States the Bitcoin superpower of the world. So, guys, what's going on here? So, he first showed the video, it says something, and then he probably somebody tell, hey, what you do? You messed up here.
And this is where things get really interesting, right? Because just hours ago, we had one statement saying they wouldn't buy more Bitcoin. And now we've got this follow-up basically hinting that the Treasury is indeed looking to expand that reserve. So what does that tell us? It tells us that the narrative can flip on a dime, and it's important for all of us to stay on our toes because these policy shifts can really influence market sentiment and strategy. So we'll unpack all of that today and dive into what this means not just for Bitcoin, but for the entire crypto landscape and for XRP as well. Stay tuned, and if you're enjoying the stream, definitely hit that like button.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for reminding me that everybody likes and subscribe, turn on the notification bell, leave a comment, participate with the poll or something else. So definitely help the channel to grow. But also, for the XRP people that are watching this channel, say, why are you talking about Bitcoin? Why you give it so much interest? Because I want to get to a point. The point is going to be where we're going to switch. And I'm going to show some people that come out with some declaration in video and interview. They're playing like childs. And we need to call them up, okay? Because that's time where we are all grow up here in the room. We need to talk as a grow-ups. Then you want to play games, okay? I guess that's how you feel. Go for it, okay? Yeah, let's move on to that. Why I'm showing this stuff first instead to go straight to the news.
Absolutely, Rocco. Okay, and that's a great point for everyone tuning in. We're connecting these dots because the bigger picture in the crypto world always loops back to how assets like XRP are perceived and positioned. Exactly. When we see these policy shifts or watch how Bitcoin is being handled, it sets the stage for how other cryptos, including XRP, will be treated in the regulatory and financial landscape. So we'll dive into that and also call out the inconsistencies and the games being played by some folks out there. So stay with us and let's break it down like adults in the room.
Exactly. So what I'd like to point it out here is the following, okay? So imagine if you were a Bitcoin. Remember when Bitcoin first came out, let's say, it was 10 years ago or whatever, okay? And you were saying, oh, I have a Bitcoin or whatever. It was the first things around and the people were mocking you. Okay. You didn't learn anything about it? What you think you are right now to be above everybody else? Okay. You make a lot of money out of Bitcoin. You hold it for 10 years. I guess you have all this anger accumulated in you because everybody was mocking you to have a Bitcoin that was worthless. And now you're a millionaire and you taking the you feel like you have the luxury to talk down to other people they own other crypto, and then we're talking here a bit avoid tribalism, and then you come out and be a jerk about it. First of all, go inform yourself, and then if you don't like a project, there is nothing wrong with that, but you don't have to bash it, you don't have to talk down people. If you like your favorite coin, that's for you, and that's for you only. There is not for me to say you are something and call you name because you choose one coin than another. Eventually, you're gonna realize yourself, if you made a mistake in the future, that you can have made a better choice. I don't know what's gonna happen 10 years from now. I have no clue. These people in charge, they can change their stand in a second. They can come out tomorrow and say, I never promised anything like that, Bitcoin or a stockpile or anything. The only things that we are sure here, that technology cannot be stopped. That's the reference. If it was something else, then I will say, okay, now we need to be very, very careful. But this technology cannot be stopped, but can be manipulated. These people are in charge. The people that politics are changing. Yes, they're changing fast. Yes, but these people can change the narrative and just come back and say, I never say that, I never say that. And then they're going to probably kind of pause or make the system going slower. But eventually technology is going to prevail. So there is nothing they can do about it. But in the meantime, they can definitely make it manipulate the market and going up and down. Inflation has been there. We know it's been there. They play this game. The game has been inflation's going up, cut the rate, and tariffs all over the place. And the price goes up and down, all-time high, and then we drop 10%, 15%, whatever it is, which is fine. If you're a trader, you make a killer right now. And that's completely fine. What I don't like is that you come out with something and then you change your stand, and then some other people comes out and talk bad about another project, especially about the XRP and XRP holder. That I won't allow that. In fact, let's go try to call us some
Absolutely, and you've
in.
nailed it there. This whole dance is really about the powers that be shifting the narrative whenever it suits them. They can slow things down, speed them up, and try to manipulate the market, but at the end of the day, the technology and the truth behind it will push through. So yes, inflation, rate cuts, tariffs, all these macro games, they create noise, and if you're a trader, you can ride those waves. But when they start flipping the script and bad-mouthing other projects like XRP and its holdings, what's when we come in to call it out? We're here to keep it real and help everyone see through the noise.
This is another post that came out 3 hours ago that said that from Senator Lummis, that said the Treasury Secretary Basson said the U.S. is exploring ways to buy more Bitcoin. I have a bill for that. So don't tell me that he just slipped out of his mind. He come out with something and completely says something wrong. He maybe made a mistake, but that's a big. I mean, you've been talking about that in a segment in TV. You are in charge of the Treasury. She has a bill, like you said. They're working in the Clarity Act, all this stuff right here, and now you make it just is a lapsus in your head, and just you make a statement like that. Now, what I like to say, there are other people, there are Bitcoin maxis, they always bash an XRP and XRP holder. They say, don't spread FUD, that's not what he said. You guys saw the video. This is what he said. He said they were not buying more Bitcoin, and it says that it would just use whatever Bitcoin is left, even they don't know where the other part went because they disappear. Guys, we're talking about, billions of dollars here. And somehow they sell it, nobody knows where did it go. The only crypto that is you can trace everywhere, but the people, the one from the government, they don't know where they're going. Anyway, so what I don't like is other people that are in this news segment, if you want to go, of people, they have a channel to inform people. They bash project based on their beliefs, because probably when they started, they were mocked from their friend, their family, and then for 10 years their Bitcoin was worthless. And then they accumulate all this anger, and now because they make some money, they take they go on their the platform or channel or whatever in social media and point other people out they're, oh, you are an XRP holder, so then you are completely in. And I won't say the word here, so because channel is still small, so I can have YouTube to penalize me yet. Okay, so I'm not that big, but my voice is my voice. If you guys listen, you're free to listen or not. So now, what I want to show you is something else. Okay, so let's move on. So that's what we're gonna talk about it. Let's take a listen to this clip right here. Okay, let's take a, and one thing I'm gonna tell you here. That Mike Novogratz has always been like SK Mask citizen. How are you? Welcome in. It's always been like a max in everything, but it seems it came to a realization, and I actually appreciate more him that he changed his stand. And I like Natalie. I mean, I had the chance to see her at the Bitcoin conference in Miami. She's very smart. She grows very fast on the media. She's in TV, but I think she can have approached this in a better way. I think the reaction was poor. And let's take a listen at this clip, which is one of the clips. Then I think that these people have to stop.
Do you think XRP still exists?
Because they have a great marketing team and a lot of money.
XRP as a marketing team. Okay, maybe Ripple, but XRP as a marketing team. I'm a marketing team, or maybe because I decided make a choice one day among all the projects to choose something that I like it as a coin. So Doge has a good marketing team. But the other part, I don't know if you're going to be able. Today's episode is going to be tough for me too, because I'm already boiling.
What do you think they get a lot of money from?
From selling their coin and their ICO.
Are we talking about Ethereum? Did I get confused? Are we talking about Ethereum here? At least we are. Maybe you get confused with Vitalik. They was doing the selling on the coins, and then decide, which way we should go, XRP or Ethereum. Okay, let's block XRP that is about to flip at Ethereum. We can make a ton of money with Ethereum, and we do this ICO. So a nice offering for. So that's me or what? I don't know, guys. It's me. It's boiling because it's been so many years and we got to this point, and we should be over this. I can stand it. So let's go back. Let's rewind one more time and let's listen again, and then we're gonna move on. Okay?
Why?
Let me ask you a question. Why do you think XRP still exists?
Because they have a great marketing team and a lot of money.
Okay.
What do you think they get a lot of money from?
From selling their coin and their ICO, their initial offering, right? I mean,
listen, the XRP army.
And we don't XRP army and whatever. So all right. So my question is, if you guys, it's a legit question. Where they making the money from? Okay, so first of all, XRP existed before the Ripple kind of took it under their umbrella. Okay, now the founder of Ripple before was called can't remember out of my teeth, was Coin something. Finch was the name of the before Ripple became Ripple. What was the company name? Coin something. I don't remember exactly the name. So they started. Then they sold this company for less than $1 million. And
yeah, absolutely. So before Ripple was called Ripple, the company actually started out under the name OpenCoin. That was the original name way back in the early days before they rebranded to Ripple. So definitely a little piece of history there.
So in case you wonder how they make the money, they make the money. So when they sold OpenCoin, because it was bought out, they started a new company. And that was part of the Arthur Brito company and Schwartz all together, okay? So thank you, Ski Mask Citizen. So where they make the money? They sold the company for less than $1 million. These people didn't make the money from an ICO. They start to work in a project and they kind of copy the model of PayPal. Finch, can we do some history here? So they sold the OpenCoin. They were trying to do a company like PayPal, and then they start to grow slowly, and they make the money by selling their software to facilitate payment from banks. And especially, they mostly make more success outside the U.S. than on here in the United States because the problem with all the courts and all the problem they had, the legislation and stuff like that. So, Finch, you want to do a quick recap of what it is all about? So I'll tell you how they make the money. They make the money working, not like Ethereum.
Absolutely, Rocco. Let's dive into that bit of history.
Yeah, let's do
So
that.
back in the day, when Ripple was still called OpenCoin, they were essentially trying to build something that was a bit like PayPal, but for a more decentralized world. They started out focusing on selling their software and solutions to help banks and financial institutions move money around more efficiently. And interestingly, they found a lot more success outside the United States early on, mainly because of the regulatory hurdles and the legal battles they faced here. So that's a quick recap of how they started and how they ended up focusing internationally before really getting clarity in the US market.
Okay, let's take a keep listening on the clip with Mike Nogwag.
Care as much about their token as the Bitcoin army cares about theirs. It's just that simple.
It has gotten very tribal.
It's getting very troubling on your side, guys. We don't care about the Bitcoin. We own Bitcoin. We are okay with Bitcoin, and that's not where we are. We know for sure that Bitcoin serve a different purpose. Now, if you like to compare Bitcoin with the XRP, that's where it's not right, because it's not the same thing. You don't have a smart contract in Bitcoin. You don't have an NFT. You don't do anything with Bitcoin. Besides the setting in there, it's become old technology. Let's call the things where they are. Now, you're afraid because probably now your Bitcoin is worth a lot of money, but you know if nothing change in the future, it can be a threat to your asset. That's what you're gonna call it. Let's call it what it is then. Let's call the things for their name with their name. Okay, so a lot of tribalism. Guess what? To start the tribalism, you guys start the tribalism like that. Okay, you should stop. First of all, you don't say that you're making a lot of money from an ICO. Why are you talking about it? I'm sorry, that's not right. But let's move on.
All crypto is tribal. Listen, I got a Bitcoin tattoo.
Do
Yeah.
you still have your Terra Luna tattoo?
I got a Bitcoin tattoo right there.
So this guy went all in Terra Luna, and Terra Luna, we know what happened with that. It crashed. It's okay that they crossed him out from the earth because he went in Terra Luna. He believed in the project. Terra Luna, unfortunately, did what he did, but is it his fault? Is my fault? It's nobody's fault. But I don't bash him because he was in Terra Luna. What do you want me to say? No? So you're free to do whatever you want. But now because your coin makes a lot of money, then you can talk down to other projects. No. And pretend because you have a lot of money now. Bitcoin is not all-time high. Okay. All these big Bitcoin maxing talking like they're gods. Yes. Maybe we should just wait for when XRP is $100. Then we can start to talk. But anyway, let's move on.
There. I got it at 20,000.
Do you still have your Terra
I
Luna?
got a Terra Luna tattoo there. Like these are tribal communities. And I used to be more of like, well, Bitcoin's digital gold and everything else needs a utility.
Guys, you think I'm tribal? Put one in the chat if you think I'm tribal. Any other number if you think I'm not. Put number one in the chat if you think I'm tribal.
Right? Just like there's gold on the periodic table, the other 113 elements only have value because there's utility, right? We use copper for stuff, right? That's why it's valuable. And I realized that was misguided thinking. What created Bitcoin and created this crypto movement was this breakdown in trust in the world. People don't trust religions. They don't trust governments. It started in 08, right? I mean, Satoshi wrote the paper post 08. And if you just graph trust since we started this journey, it's one directional, straight down. And so I get why Michael loves Bitcoin because that's his community. And I love Bitcoin too.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's beyond a financial asset. It's a religion. It's a tribal movement. And it's the same thing that you're seeing in, I mean, look, Cardano has a $8 billion market cap and you can shit on Cardano and you get death threats. There's a community that cares about Cardano enough that it's kept up a valuation that defied most people's logic, right? XRP, Brad Garlinghouse has done an amazing job of creating. And I asked him a few times, I think, where does this XRP army come from? And he said, I'm not even sure.
Okay,
like,
you say
they
that.
care about this thing. I mean, when they went through that lawsuit, this guy, Doug Deaton, what was it, not Doug? Who was the guy, Deaton? The
John
lawyer.
Deaton. Yeah, John Deaton.
John Deaton. Yeah.
John Deaton.
Yeah, he was on the show.
That guy was literally tweeting 9 times a day, fighting this case in court. He didn't even know the guys at Ripple originally.
Hold on. Yeah, that's you gotta know the case. It was we were part of. I was part of the people that signed the document when John Dito brought it in front of the judge. There was a Amicis, whatever it was called. I don't remember whatever it is, because they got an expert, the ACC, a guy that never had bought a XRP. It was the expert that brought it out that the XRP was bought to make money off of it. All the story behind of it. Okay. So it's not like John Dito was tweeting like crazy. John Dito was making a case to help the case that was a XRP holder and the Ethereum. They were threatened completely two different ways. That's what it is. So anyway, let's move on. Okay, it's gonna be tough.
This
today.
was part of his community, and he thought this was an injustice done to his community.
No, it wasn't injustice doing to the community. It wasn't injustice. Point. Period. It was wrong. Everybody else see their coin, their whatever they choose to go up, and be right before Christmas, you see your project crash because there were some arrangement on the back end behind the closed door. That's why I don't like this. That's not tribalism. That's unlawful what has been done. But let's move on. I'm gonna keep calm.
And so I think one of the things that crypto has added to investing in general is the idea that community is valuable, right? Look at Tesla or...
You don't care about the community. Listen, the community, yeah, we can be a group of people that gather together. We have our own opinion and we should number to the moon. Okay, $10,000 XRP by tomorrow. Okay, that's us. But the people that are controlling this stuff are the people that are in the government, the banks, the people that are always been in the high ranks. For the first time in history, we got a piece of the pie before left the store and eat the table in front of the politics and everybody else, again, Wall Street and everybody else. For the first time, we had a chance to have a slice of the pizza before they eat the table in front of everybody else. And these people will do anything to take it away from us. They will do anything. They will crash the market. They will shake you out. They will come out with FUD. Will pull people against one another just to get everything out of you. And they will buy. When you sell it, they will buy. They come out one day, they say, oh, we're gonna ban all the apps in the Android and the Google and Apple for all the crypto apps. What is the genius they come out with that? I don't even think about that. I don't know. I'm speechless sometimes. I don't know. I'm getting crazy with this stuff. But anyway, let's move on. Let's keep listening.
Palantir, they're stocks. We call them meme stocks from memic value. It's community. Find me one person in the world that says, I'm an Oracle guy. About crypto.
But you can be a Tesla guy, I guess. That's what it is too, right? I think so you are.
Punks, the crypto punk community. Listen, do I think they'll all have the same lasting power as Bitcoin? No. But I've been so freaking wrong on how long some of them have lasted.
Yes, came ask, but they stopped us. They came out to say, no, we're not going to do that. They just, because of the... Besides, I'm going to say something else too. About the apps. My camera freeze for a second. I'm going to wait for that to come back. And in the meantime, I'm going to talk on the screen anyway. So, in the Google Play Store, they come out and say, we're going to ban all the whatever wallet it is. Well, I mean, I think it was a crypto app wallet crypto exchange, but you can still have downloaded your wallet or something like that, if I don't remember wrong. But imagine now the Solana phone is been shipping around, and they have their own store inside. Okay, so beside the Apple Store and the Play Store, the Apple Store, the Google Play Store, they have their own native app store inside the Solana phone. By the way, I ordered the phone, and when I get it, I'm gonna show you guys, and maybe I'm gonna do even a video off of it. So that's not a problem. There is gonna be always a way around technology. You think that because Google and Apple have the monopoly in the apps, you're gonna be running everything? No, it doesn't work like that. Eventually, the technology is gonna take over. Anyway, it's gonna be more fun in the future, where they're going to have the native wallet inside, connected with their own apps inside a phone that we're going to still call it a phone, but is way more than that, okay? So that's what it is. But let's move on, because This is unfortunately one of the few videos that we're gonna go through today. So let's listen more.
Lasted, right? XRP is still the number 3 token. Their people care about it. And when I say care about it, they are choosing to take their hard-earned dollars that they make as a salesperson or as a garbage man or as a chef or as a computer engineer, and they're storing that value in a community, right? In the Bitcoin community, we're storing.
Yes, because it can be somebody that works to buy the coin, but also it can be the government on the Emirate. They just decide to use as a blockchain where the Ripple runs for some obvious reason, because you can tokenize, you can move money fast and everything else. Nothing wrong to hold Bitcoin, that's all you can do, hold it. Yeah. And if you move it from one place to another, if there is congestion, you can wait 3-4 hours before you get it.
Bringing on this blockchain that is really guarded by this complex group of miners, right? We store our wealth.
Oh, let's talk about that. Because we're talking about the centralization, decentralized, Ripple controls everything, is everything centralized. First of all, I don't know why they come out with this stuff. Hey, Lizard King, welcome in. Good to see you. I don't know why this narrative is always the same. It kind of pissed me off. All right, we're not talking about mining. Okay, Bitcoin mining was mostly in China because they have all the miner over there. And for I've been mining. I don't have a Bitcoin miner, but I've been mining. I was through the period when if you want to buy a GPU, you will pay double than that if you want to mine Ethereum or anything else. But for Bitcoin, back then you had a ASICs machine. I guess where the machine were coming from, where were assembled. And in fact, today there was a post that I don't have it ready here, where is Jack Dorsey, that shows he actually created the first ASICs mining machine here in the United States. If you had a mining machine, you had to back order, it was cost thousands and thousands of dollars, and then they will come out, you will pay, and you can pay only Bitcoin or things I don't remember exactly back then. But we really want to talk about the centralization, the decentralization? We really want to talk about that? Ethereum was, when it was a proof of work, it was more decentralized because you can mine Ethereum everywhere with a GPU around the world. And the GPU was, by the way, even if the hash rate wasn't great, depending what kind of GPU did you get it, you can mine it everywhere. Bitcoin, you can mine. Yes, you're going to try. I know they're the solo computer, they can you mine it, but the chance to get eat a block, they're very, of course, you got the news and they say, oh, they eat the block, they got 3 Bitcoins. Yes, but many other thousands of people don't eat the block every day. So it's like playing a lottery. Anyway, that's my opinion, guys. Okay, don't because I just reacting to what these people are saying. Okay, you want to talk about decentralization? It's not decentralized. If I own all the mining, so you're not decentralized. And who says that you gotta be the only miner? The United States has to be the only miner. If I don't know, if Italy was to spend all this money, I don't know, I buy all the machine and mine Bitcoin more than United States. I know it's crazy. Just an example. Who says that it's not? Who says that China can mine Bitcoin because it's China? But why not? So this more probably go to philosophy and politics. But we calling things with their name here. We're talking about decentralization? Come on, really? Let's move on. He was talking about mining. It was not me, eh?
Wealth in this thing. But it's because we're trusting in the community. Yeah. And I think there's a lot more micro communities out there that I ever thought could exist.
Well, I think you're right. And to your earlier points, I mean, people get really fanatic about their coins and...
you get fanatic about yours. I don't understand. What's the difference? Yours is better than mine? What are we talking here? What we do here?
It's clearly put their life savings into it. I just see...
Why? You don't need to put your life savings in yours because you already made the money? That's what it is? I don't understand it. Really, that's beyond my imagination.
I guess I've experienced a difference between Bitcoiners and maybe people who are crazy about it, some of the other protocols that are out there, in just, I guess, their vision for what they want to address in terms of the world's problems. And also, I mean, I've never seen Bitcoiners like get so hostile the way that, say, someone who's really...
I tried to wear an XRP hat in a Bitcoin conference. If you make it out alive, you're lucky. Come on. No.
into this one token gets hostile against Bitcoin. I feel like there's a difference. Like Bitcoiners genuinely want to address the financial system and what has caused so many people.
Why you say genuinely want to address this in the financial system? The rest, XRP, doesn't want to address the financial system. What is the main job is to make payment and move money from point A to point B? What are we talking about here? I don't understand.
To become disenfranchised
Why
and
I say
left behind.
all the time to Bitcoin is keep your narrative simple. Digital gold, address.
Yeah, keep it simple because the only things you can do with that is digital gold. When I call it digital gold, that's what it is. Okay, keep your gold. Of course, that's how it is. But if we remove, if we're going to remove, this is the other things, guys. If we're going to remove the Bitcoin holder, and there is no utility, okay? Besides that, it's pretty much, digital gold. You can have a gold chain, to show off. You got your Bitcoin to show off. But I like to make the case, if a Ripple will disappear tomorrow, the XRP ledger will still work. That's the things that these people don't understand it. Okay? Yeah, maybe they don't have all the fund. It's going to be more clunky. They don't get all the money for other people, developers. Anybody can jump in and make change to it. And can make their own app and create something on top of it. But I don't understand it. Really, that's beyond me, man. Anyway. Well, Ski Mask, I know this is going to be a painful live stream today. And in fact, we're going to jump from one video like this is annoying to a worse one. Because yes, guess what? Today is the purge day. We're gonna suffer. Because the XRP army like to suffer even more. And when the more we suffer, the stronger we could become. No, that's what it is, right? All right, let's take a listen. This one. That's unfortunate.
Price has stalled around 118,000, but that has not stopped some dinosaur altcoins from making serious moves. They are pumping hard. Ethereum is up 9% in the last 24 hours. XRP is up 10% in the last 24 hours.
This guy talks about dinosaur coins. This guy talking about dinosaur coins? What are you talking about? This Bitcoin is the dinosaurs. But I guess if you're a dinosaur, you don't know you are a dinosaur because, the dinosaur has so many arts that, the blood, the dinosaurs, one of the stories fascinating. It can be dead, but it doesn't know yet. The reason being because it can have the funny story about the dinosaur, because they were so big, they can have been already dead, but without knowing that. Because by the time the brain get the blood in their brain, they were already dead. I didn't know. And that's exactly what this guy just said. He talked about that. What a very poor choice of word.
Some dinosaur altcoins from making serious moves. They are pumping hard. Ethereum is up 9% in the last 24 hours. XRP is up 10% in the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, Ethereum at 23%, XRP at 33%.
But the XRP is not up 33%. Just no. It's over 400%. But congratulations on the all-time high yesterday.
Leading many to wonder what could possibly be causing all of this upside price action on altcoins. In Bitcoin, obviously, we're at 118-ish rounding error from the all-time high. Yep. But are you wearing XRP socks? Because XRP is up.
Guys, the worst is about to come, okay? Let's just take a listen.
Up like 10%.
The XRP army. So actually, I'm not wearing any socks today because I'm at the beach, but I do have Bitcoin orange bathing suit. So everything's still all about Bitcoin. I've got the Bitcoin beard. I mean, it's beautiful. But look, I got in trouble with the Army because I might have said that XRP is a scam.
Congratulations. I don't know. Should I comment this? Should I just say something? I don't know. You may say you got in trouble because you say the XRP is a scam. Hey guys, I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. That's the Elizabeth Warren version on the Bitcoiners. That's what it is.
Here, you got me in trouble with the Army too. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. So I might have said that, and I actually kind of stand by it. And the fact that of an asset increases in price doesn't mean that the functionality got better. It just means that, there's more buyers than sellers.
I'm glad you're talking about Bitcoin. So that's what the functionality in there. I don't know, but hey, let's take a listen. Yeah, let's keep going.
So the price rises. Look, I think the reality is, you said it's all politics right now. Politics and the idea that the government, and most notably the small sliver of the administration that's pushing this, really could say, I'm going to king make. I'm going to say this is the ledger we might use for this function, or we're going to put some of this in our strategic reserve. Despite the fact that there's no evidence of that, the rumors are great because Brad snapped a picture of himself at Mar-a-Lago. But
guys, this is a direct attack to XRP. And it's not what is funny that this connects exactly to what happened today. When the Secretary of the Treasury said they cannot going to buy any Bitcoin, there will be no Bitcoin reserve. They're only going to keep whatever they got in stock. And then they come back and say, oh my God, what did they do? Because all these people probably get to the phone and say, hey, what did you say? We say Bitcoin is going to be on the reserve. And I just talk about XRP. And then you say, because I took a snapshot with the picture with the Brett Garlinghouse? Did you guys are connecting here the dot the way it is? Probably I'm super wired today. So you guys heard what he says, right?
Function, or we're going to put some of this in our strategic reserve.
Listen, my friend, Bitcoin can never replace Swift. I don't know. You guys have these venture capitals. You run millions of dollars. I know you probably have a customer that you represent, so you need to talk. You got to sell your product, probably Bitcoin, but I don't understand why you don't sell. Listen, if you sell shoes and you think your shoes are the best, if next to you there is somebody else that sells another kind of shoes, just keep focusing on yours. Why you care about what the other guy is doing? I don't understand it. This really, today's episode, I need to control myself because I'm going to start to lose it. And that's funny that he talks about because they probably say they're going to do a reserve or something like that. They say they're going to do it, right? Why is working only for Bitcoin, but if it's related to XRP, Cardano, Chainlinks, and Solana, no, that doesn't do anything. Dinosaurs or whatever these say. All right. Last 10 seconds.
Despite the fact that there's no evidence of that, the rumors are great because, Brad snapped a picture of himself at Mar-a-Lago, but I guess someone else snapped the picture. He was in it with the Donald.
Yeah, well, it was a Stuart Aldo right next to him.
We don't need to deeply dig further into that because I know your opinion and it's amazing. Bitcoin price.
We're not going to go in there, and especially because if you want to go to talk, if you want to see the new movie of Jurassic Park, you don't need to go to the movie anymore. Just you can turn in to any of these X account that you can see these dinosaurs talking about themselves without even realizing it. All right, so after this, a lot of fun. Okay, let's go and show the other verse. let's finally show the other side of the medal, okay, of the coin, the other side. Maybe, I don't know. There are some more people, they're more knowledgeable, they have more power, and let's take a listen. Quick reminder. Not me.
There. For someone that doesn't want to specialize in this, it is something you have to pay attention to. Here's why. Let's just say XRP decides to, all of a sudden, they replace SWIFT. Let's say that happens. If XRP replaces SWIFT and FedNow, you know what happens? Let me give you some numbers here. XRP's ledger processes transactions in 3 to 5 seconds at nearly no cost, making it significantly faster and cheaper than SWIFT. So, SWIFT processes $5 trillion daily, or 1.25 quadrillion annually. If you didn't know what that was, quadrillion annually.
I'm sorry.
SWIFT. If XRP captures 5 to 10% of volume, let's just say 10% of volume, $125 trillion annually. The demand for XRP, by the way, it could be any of these other technologies we're talking about. Analysts estimate that a $10 trillion market cap could push XRP's price to $100 per token, with full replacement potentially driving it up to $1,000 there.
All right, guys. You guys, you remember when the Brad came out to say, well, we're going to probably take like a 10, 13% of the SWIFT network. We're going to kind of take over the part of the market, the segment of the market. And then he came out like months later say, well, probably we're going to take 20%. So the previous guy they were talking, I don't know where they got the fact from. I don't know what they think they can do with Bitcoin. They cannot provide payment. So they cannot do smart contracts with that. Unless you have something on top that they're going to create a bridge or something like that. So anyway, so this is the reverse of the medal. And this, guys, guys, we're talking about $1,000 XRP. Are these Bitcoiners afraid? I think they are. They're completely afraid. Because at some point, it can be a shift. Remember this, okay, guys? Where is Blockbuster? It's gone. Remember that? But remember when Blockbuster was about to die, there was another... Do you remember the red kiosk that you have outside the market that you will go rent your CD instead? It was even better. It was a machine, a dispenser. I don't remember more what it was called. It was called probably Red Box or something like that. I don't remember anymore. And then Netflix take over. And you remember before you used to go to the market, and now you do everything online. So everything moves fast. Amazon used to sell books. And today, Amazon makes its money from cloud service. That's where they make the most money out of it. Not from selling you the earpiece, the microphone, or whatever it is. That's where they make their money from. And they offer also payment system and credit cards and stuff like that. Okay? So it's just normal to see this big company evolves and eventually offer financial product, crypto product, stablecoin, and more stuff, and even more. And you got it, Jerry. XRP will fly so high that this Bitcoiner, they're gonna be so scared, and unfortunately, they're gonna be so brainwashed they will never sell to buy XRP because they are Bitcoiner. The only difference is, I invite you guys to go and take a look at the documentary about the guys from Netflix that tell the story when they got an appointment with whatever board of the Blockbuster, and this guy had to fly fast because it was last minute. They have to take a plane and get in front of these people, and these people laugh at him. And then Netflix just took over everything. That's how this stuff is gonna work. That's what is gonna happen next. But let's move on. One funny thing that somebody posted, I like this show, and from Kenny is definitely an XRP hardcore. And today says that the 14/8/2025, if you guys know, is pretty much 589. That's I don't know. You know what is funny? When I give him a like right here, there is now 816. And when I gave him my like, it was 777. So it was the 37 in a row. Hey guys, 589, 3 7s. I don't know. You can't beat that. Yeah, I saw that it was a red box. Yeah, I think that was okay. So now tomorrow is another big day because tomorrow they're gonna unveil the famous Paul Atkins is gonna say he's gonna unveil is the crypto project tomorrow. I'm wondering what it's gonna be. I'm really really wondering what it's gonna be about. Okay, I don't know, Finch. You wanna speculate? You wanna talk about it? Also, you've been so quiet today. I know. Today I took over a little bit.
Ooh,
So
that's an exciting tease. I think there's definitely a lot of curiosity around what Paul Atkins might unveil, given his background and the shift in the regulatory landscape, and could be something that aims to bring more clarity and stability to the crypto space, especially for institutional investors. But of course, it could be a complete surprise. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he has in store.
also today I think there was a Solana ETF that was kind of decline, if I don't remember wrong. And I don't know what basis. I know, it wasn't decline. It was like, they have a time they can postpone and postpone. And I didn't know there was anything Solana due by today, and I kind of felt too surprised. I don't know if somebody just posted and then it was the actual deal. But we'll see tomorrow what it is all about it. And yeah, so more to talk. But let's take a look quickly at the market very briefly. And well, let's see where we are. Bitcoin 118. Maybe I don't think I have to refresh it, but let's refresh it just in case this thing's stuck. No. Okay, 118 on Bitcoin, XRP, and hanging in there at $3. Ethereum 4,600 more or less. Fear and Greed 59. We're still pretty good with that, but let's move on. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the positive news today. Okay. Let's talk about this news. The XRP news today is that Coinbase cut XRP holding by 57.4% amid to regulatory uncertainty. Finch, what do you make out of this article? You kind of want to explain a little bit what it's all about? Yeah, so let's talk about some good news after the first part of the show.
Coinbase's decision to reduce their XRP holdings by such a significant percentage is definitely tied to the ongoing regulatory uncertainty surrounding XRP. This move suggests that Coinbase is being cautious as they navigate the complexities of the SEC stats on XRP. It definitely impacts market sentiment and could contribute to some volatility in the short term. But on the flip side, it also highlights the need for clearer regulations in the crypto space. It'll be interesting to see how this develops.
Yeah, probably tomorrow we're going to see what this crypto project is all about. I don't understand what XRP uncertainty they do have now. That is, they dropped the case, the SEC dropped the case too. I don't understand. But this, we go back to what is the thumbnail is, be careful. Why? Because Coinbase, when the lawsuit just dropped from the SEC, they delisted XRP just like that. They didn't think twice. And on top of it, now the CEO, they're going to look nice. We're going to fight the SEC. We got sued because we have posted some coins. Remember, they were talking about XRP. I didn't forget. I was there. And now they all play, the SEC, praise the SEC. Oh my God. No, doesn't work like that, my friend. You can go and just shift depending on where the wind blows. Doesn't work like that, okay? Yeah, I don't see no regulatory uncertainty. I agree with you. So I don't know what this Coinbase cuts holding. But I think that's an excuse. I think this connects to something else, guys. This is why I pulled this article. And the article that I want to show you is this. Reconnecting. Hold with me. In the meantime, maybe we're going to wait for... My browser just crashed, saying, hold with me. The article is about the money. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Hopefully you can, while I'm waiting for the system to recover, I guess. Yes, we're back. Okay. Seems like we're back. Okay, what is it? Okay. Okay, what was the article I want to show you? Okay. There we go. Bear with me. Okay, Finch, we want to talk about the article, the XRP article that say XRP Validator flags suspected price manipulation via large exchange transfers. Yeah, because that's what is going on here. They say the excuse is they say there is uncertainty, even there is no
Absolutely.
uncertainty.
So this article highlights a concern raised by an XRP validator about potential price manipulation.
Of course.
The validator noticed some unusually large transfers between exchanges, which can sometimes indicate attempts to manipulate the market price. It's a reminder of how important transparency and monitoring are in the crypto world. It also sparks a conversation about the need for stronger safeguards to ensure a fair trading environment. Definitely an interesting development.
Yeah, that's what it is, guys. So they come out and say, oh, because of the uncertainty, we're going to cut 54% of what we have of the XRP that we hold it. Then they're going to sell it. They're going to move between exchange. They're going to manipulate the market. And they're going to drop the price down to $3 while they're making money off of it, of course. Now, the other things that I want to point it out is a supply shock, okay? Because I don't know if you guys have seen the poll. So far we have 23 votes. And the question is XRP supply really running out? We have 48% say yes, 26% says there is plenty left, and 26% say not sure yet. So, Finch, we want to kind of explain where we are with the supply, the XRP, especially with all these ETF lining up for the coming up in the October, so not even further away. So in the meantime, let's see if I can find an article that was talking about.
So the idea of a supply shock in the context of XRP means that a significant amount of XRP is being taken off exchanges and held in wallets, which reduces the available supply for trading. This can create upward pressure on the price if demand stays strong. With multiple ETFs potentially launching in October, the anticipation is that demand for XRP could increase. If supply continues to be limited, that could lead to a positive price impact. It's definitely an interesting dynamic to watch.
Yes, it is, especially because they're moving this to other wallet. And for this company, when the spot ETF is going to be approved, and a spot ETF means that whatever is the filer has to have a one-to-one backed up XRP. So if I'm a client from Templeton, and I want to buy, I don't know, a $20 million worth of XRP, it's not like a future that you speculate in a paper. That you gotta have a spot ETF. It means you have to have the equivalent of 20 million in XRP to back it up. It's BlackRock does his own XRP ETF, and it's get approved. And BlackRock, being how big it is, it owns a large quantity, it moves a large quantity of money pretty much worldwide. That they need to have that backed up. The same way we see the Bitcoin and Ethereum in flow right now, and the Bitcoin price is gonna go up because it's gonna be a supply shock. The same exactly things is gonna happen because there's gonna be the ETF and the demand for the ledger too. Okay, because that's gonna be the everything connected with the stable coins and whatever I forget. There is so many things going on right now that there's so even difficult to remember all of them. Okay, so just to bring something out. Oh, here I got the page for if it loads today. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. That's just the list. Bitwise, Canary Capital, 21 share. Winston 3, Grayscale, ProShare, Franklin Templeton, and Ethereum. And I never know how to pronounce it, okay? Just to name a few, okay? Who knows what's going to do next? And this is only United States, okay? So remember that, okay? Okay, so what am I missing here? Am I missing anything else? Finch, while I find some other article or something else, you want to do a call to action, and thanks to our friend Lizard King, Jerry, Fabio, Ski Mask, Citizen, random the chat, and also, I don't know, talk about in and out crypto, I don't know. While I find something else here. Do it.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. While we're diving into more updates, I just want to give a big shout out to all of our awesome viewers in the chat, Lizard King, Jerry, Fabio, Ski Mask Citizen, and everyone else. And of course, don't forget to check out inoutcrypto.com for some cool merch.